Hello, everyone. Teach me grappling. What's up? It's a Saturday night, and I'm feeling right, and I'm home, and I've got now 6 people in the room. Pretty cool. What are you guys doing on Saturday night, 11? You guys are not going out and partying? 22 people hanging out on YouTube? Come on, man. What's up, everybody? I just got back. Well, I didn't just get back. I've actually been home for a little while. Hey, what's up, Brian? What's up, William? Sean Paul? I'm sorry. Teach me grappling. Oh, it's a clap and then teach grappling. I forget. Oh no. Somebody's asking me about the UFC. Jack Hermanson. I didn't get to see it. Thanks, Raul. William burying a septic tank? Well, Ubaldo's eating some tacos. Pretty sweet. I just had some pizza myself. But yeah, guys. I did not watch the UFC. I think it's got to be still going on right now, actually. I didn't get to see it. If you guys are watching the UFC, enjoy. I believe it's on. Or is it Bellator? Maybe I'm lost. Maybe it's Bellator is also on. Oh, it was an early event. Hey, anybody out there who won with AJ McKee and Antonio McKee, Bellator? Who won? Let me know before I get started, as a few more people come in. Anybody know that answer? Antonio McKee's a friend of mine, and I do not know what happened. I don't really care. Like, I want to see it. I don't mind if you just tell me, spoil me, or spoil it for me. Anybody? Nobody knows? Do I have to go on Facebook, Instagram? Okay, I'll leave it alone. Somebody else will, somebody will probably pop in a second. Anyway, guys, ADCC talk. Oh, was Bellator last night? Oh, you got two different people. Someone says it was last night. Someone says they think it's still going. The dad won. The son hasn't fought. Wow. Cool. So Antonio won. Father. Okay. Let me get into ADCC talk, guys. I do not know everything, but I can talk a little bit about it. So someone's asking right now about Nicky Ryan's match. How did it go? Nicky Ryan looked great today. Overall, he won his first match. Outstanding performance. But his second match, he had to go against Paul Miao, and he was unsuccessful. It was a little bit controversial to me. The Paul Miao fight with, or grappling match with Nicky Ryan. Here's what I saw. One, Paul Miao's guard is like near impossible to pass. He is just crazy flexible. You see a lot of guys at this level are just so difficult to pass. So very difficult to pass. And Miao actually got a sweep at one point, and he actually he was down by one because of a -1. He pulled guard during the points. So the first 5 minutes, no score. Second 5 minutes, if I recall correctly in order, he pulls guard. He's down one. When he pulls guard, I was like, wow, he pulled guard. He must know what he's doing. And sure enough, he pulled into like a kind of like a leg attack, and ended up coming up on a sweep. So when he comes up on the sweep, he gets 2. So he's got 2 points and then a -1. And then I was kind of joking. I said, all Nikki has to do is get back up. And if he gets back up, Paulo Miyao will probably pull guard again and it'll be -1 again. And that's what ends up happening. Nicky Ryan scrambles back to his feet and they're going at it. But Miyao actually tries to do takedowns for a little while. He didn't want to pull guard and give up the -1. And then what he ends up doing is he takes a shot. He takes a shot and shoots in. He's probably in on the, single double leg for maybe 3 to 5 seconds, and then he pulls guard out of the leg attack. And when he pulled guard out of the leg attack, I was a little confused because I thought that would be a -1, which then would make him have 2 negatives and then a 2-point positive, which to my account means it's still 0-0. It's tied, unless the negatives only count if the score is tied. So I don't even know the rules, and that's going to bring me to a subject in a little bit. But still a great match. Nicky Ryan did great, but Paulo Miyao beat him. So, yeah, somebody just said Nick Rodriguez is proof athleticism is cheating. Guys, this kid, I call him a kid. I don't know exactly how old he is, but Nick Rodriguez is this guy that I'm hearing has been training for 10 months. He's a blue belt, I guess, and he ends up beating spoiler alert. He ends up beating Muhammad Ali in the first round, and then he ends up beating Orlando Sanchez. And the kid is just, I say kid, he's a man. He's a big man with crazy athleticism, crazy muscles. The guy obviously has wrestling experience. In addition to, they say he's a blue belt. That's what they say. They say he's only been training 10 months in jiu-jitsu. I'm hearing Danaher Death Squad. I don't know, but the guy's a monster athlete. He obviously has wrestling experience, which counts. And so that's it. He's taken out a couple of black belts already, and he obviously qualified for this tournament, and he's kicking ass. So Nick Rodriguez is the guy to watch tomorrow, guys, in the heavyweight division. Very difficult to take down. He's got this attack he used on Orlando Sanchez, where Orlando's a really big, heavy guy, and Orlando doesn't want to get in a stance. He's gassing from getting his head pulled on so much that he has to stand up straight. But he's so short and compact, he is hard to shoot on. So Nick Rodriguez actually would crouch. He would crouch all the way down, kind of like you're just kneeling down to pick something up off the ground. And then he would lunge in with a really quick, kind of like a knee pull single leg to his left, to the opponent's right leg. And then he would get in on takedowns with that. And yeah, he didn't, it's not like he scored a whole bunch, but he got Orlando just on his heels, you could say, as far as the match. I mean, he was attacking him a lot, lots of pushing, shoving, swinging, very aggressive. It looked like it was going to break out into a fight at one point, but they were both good sports. And Nick Rodriguez looks to be a little bit of a loose cannon, like he could flip out at any moment. There was a moment in the first match with Muhammad Ali where Muhammad Ali almost takes him out of bounds, takes him down out of bounds. They go into the table, and then they call him back to the center. When they come back to the center, they give like each other like a hand slap, of a high five of like respect. And Muhammad Ali's waiting for the referee to come back to the middle to start the match, and Nick Rodriguez just attacks him. He thinks that hand slap was like, all right, cool, let's go. And then he just jumps on him. Next thing you know, he's choking Muhammad Ali, and Muhammad Ali's arms are raised up. They're going, what the hell's going on? This guy's attacking me. And they had to tell him to stop. So he's definitely, I'm not saying he's crazy or nothing, but he looks like maybe a little lack of experience, or he's just getting pumped up. Can't help himself. So he's a beast. But I don't want to talk for too long, guys, because I do want to get some rest so I can wake up for the semis and the finals tomorrow in the absolute. But there's two things. I don't want to sound too negative, so I'm going to talk about some of the negative right now. But thank you, Juan Ramon Munoz. Um, but I'm going to talk about a couple negatives, and then I'll go back to like letting you guys maybe talking about some positives that I saw. So, or just some excitement. Um, Negative number one, they need to stop letting guys fight outside the mat area. I've been talking about this for so long, and it's not like I put it out there, I guess enough, and it's not like people are going to listen to me. But guys, they let these guys compete out on the floor. They're going into the mats next door to them, their neighboring mat, and they'll let it continue as long as they're on mat. If they go outside, they're letting them go into railing. I'm I'm really surprised that they're not just letting them go up in the stands. So Santiago Perez, he says he was seating 2 rows behind me. Um, yeah, I guess you knew it was me. That's cool, man. Next time, say hello. Maybe tomorrow. Um, yeah, guys, they let the guys. It was like 2 years ago. I was watching a match with I think it was JT Torres and Lucas Lepri, and dude, JT or Lucas, I think it was JT, was grabbing Lucas around the waist as they went out of bounds on the hard floor, and they were colliding with chairs on the hard floor, and the referee was more concerned about getting the position right so he could replace it back in the middle. It was hilarious. And yeah, somebody just mentioned why can't they double the size of the mats? It's crazy to me. With some of these big athletes, these mats are just too small for them. Maybe for the lightweights, it might be okay, but it's not good for the heavyweights. They take 3 steps and they're already on the edge going out. So um, yeah, so it was crazy. Someone, Tony Smith asked, did Lepre win? He did win his first match. I believe he lost his second match. I believe he lost his second match. So I'm not 100% sure, but to my memory, he lost his second match. So I think he's out. Semifinals are tomorrow. So is it a volume thing? Just trying to get the most matches possible? Don't know what you mean by that. Um, but yeah, guys. So the area, it is crazy. They are just not giving these guys enough room to get it on, and then they don't stop the match when they go outside. There was a bunch of times they went into tables. They're going into the scoreboards. They are, again, the guys, this is nothing new. You can watch any Abu Dhabi, and you're going to find plenty of matches where they go out of bounds and they continue to let it go. So they need to fix this. This is insane. There was a match. I'm not. Again, I'm having trouble remembering exactly who it was. I want to say Yuri Samoes was going against someone and went out of bounds. The guy didn't have the back completely, that I remember, and then they started him back in the middle with his hooks, and then he ends up like standing up with the hooks, and then his knee gets kind of blows out, and it's crazy because it's inconsistent. Sometimes they go out of bounds. All right, let's replace the position. Most of the time they go out of bounds. Too big of a scramble. Let's go back up on our feet. Takedowns are happening all the time, but they're never calling a takedown because a lot of times it goes out of bounds and they're not holding them for 3 seconds. So yeah, it's crazy. Let me get back to some questions. Someone wants to know. See, JT and Tonin. Yeah, maybe. Um, AAB, hello. Do I organize seminars? I would love to do them, guys. If anybody out there wants me to do a seminar, just let me know. If you guys can set it up, I'll come out. I'm not like too expensive. I always try to make it worth it for people. I have done seminars in the past. So if anybody wants me to come out and do a seminar, I would love to do it. Love to travel and I love to help people. That's really what it's all about. So yeah, Gordon Ryan was very impressive. Thoughts on Craig Jones? Craig Jones looked great. I think he still needs to work on his takedowns, but somebody might be able to outpoint him. But he's a threat. He's a threat to anybody. So pretty incredible. Is it possible Nick Rodriguez fights Gordon in absolute or teammates can't fight? Of course they can fight, you know. Of course it's possible, and I'm sure I would think that if they were in absolute, they would fight for it. That's what I think. Um, what do I think about Nick Rodriguez? I mean, the guy's a monster. What can I say? I mean, hoping for Hanger and Jones to meet in the finals. Yeah, dude, Josh Hanger now 2 subs. He broke his first opponent. It was kind of hard to tell why his opponent broke. He hit a nice snap down, and Hanger's opponent just kind of went head first in the mat, kind of stayed there. He took his back, put his hooks in, and kind of flattened him out. He didn't look right after that. But then he ended up finishing a second opponent as well. So he's looking really good. I think he had a guillotine in his second match. So again, I'm surprised that I can even remember what I'm reciting right now. So um, yeah, Meow's got a crazy guard, you know. So getting back, guys, again, not to be too negative, but I got to talk. Oh, so I mentioned the mat size, and the letting guys compete out of bounds. They're going into tables, they're going into scoreboards, they're just crashing into everything. It's crazy. And then the other thing is, nobody, I repeat, nobody in the arena. Now, when I say actually, I could be wrong. I don't think anybody knows what's going on when it comes to the point system. Nobody can figure out when it's a sweep or when it's a takedown. Um, I know that guys are able to negate takedowns by going to a turtle position, which I think is nuts. But so classic in a wrestling match, guys go to the turtle position all the time. They're supposed to not get pinned. Somehow that negates a takedown. I think it's ridiculous. I understand they have a 3-second count. I think that's dumb. I think people should get rewarded for takedowns, but whatever. They have the rules of like 3 seconds. It's cool, whatever. But guys are like taking guys down, and just because they're scrambling on the ground for multiple seconds while the other guys has some form of control. That's why the guy's still on the ground. But as long as he's kicking and squirming and moving and changing position, no takedown. And people are just not getting credit for what they're doing. And I don't think that's right. So I think people should get credit for what they're doing. So um I mean, like, again, I mentioned the Meow match with Nikki Ryan. I maybe I'm just off, and I obviously don't know the point system. I obviously don't. But he didn't get a -1 because I assume he shot and then he pulled guard. So I just don't understand that. Like, if they're gonna give -1s, give -1s across the board. Don't do it sometimes and then not other times. There were some guys I'm sure of it. Guys were looking like they were getting sweeps, but because maybe it wasn't continuous, I looked a little bit through the rules, and it did say sweeps need to be continuous. So maybe that's the reason. I don't understand sometimes why guys don't get points or why they do. One of the very first matches of the day, Buchecha, I thought lost, but he won. So they did not give his opponent the takedown, and then he scrambled to the top position, and they gave him the takedown. So I just didn't think it was right. I thought the other guy brought him to the mat, deserved something, and then, but whatever. He ended up losing. It was kind of a heartbreaker for him, and I believe it was Neto. I think his last name Neto. But anyway, it's their tournament. It's not mine. So I just suggest that they make the rules a little bit more easy to understand for the crowd. That way the crowd knows what's going on. And then also, I don't think it's right to have, it seems like they have their judges all sitting at the table. That's BS. If you ask me, you can't have 3 judges sitting at a table together. I mean, that defeats the purpose of having, 3 different judges. I mean, if you're all at the table, you guys could whisper to each other, you can talk about situations, and that's not really judging. That's why in fights, judges are supposed to be in opposite corners. Um, it doesn't make sense to do that. It just sounds like possible corruption can happen, and I don't like it. But it is what it is. They run it how they want to run it. Other than that, now that I got that out of the way, it's an amazing event, guys. Just seeing the level of skill out there is incredible. Someone just asked, wrestlers have an advantage with the rule set. Justin asked. I think the wrestlers have an advantage to a certain degree, like because of the -1 in the points. But you can't just come in with just wrestling. You gotta have even that kid uh, Nick Rodriguez, great wrestler, but he's got to have jujitsu to go with it. I mean, otherwise, you know, you're gonna get caught in something. But yeah, the matches I gotta talk about Gary Tonin. Gary Tonin, you guys. I mean, I'm a fan of him. So I had him come out and do a seminar at my gym once when I first opened. And Gary Tonin, I'm a big fan, but he just always impresses. And his second match of the day, I mean, his first match was great too, but his second match of the day was incredible with Chinuto. And just he attacked so much. Seems like he has an endless gas tank. I know he's getting tired, but his will to win, he is just getting after it. I was so worried that he was going to overcommit himself to something, get after it, look so good grappling, but give up points or something, make a mistake and lose the match. But he ended up just like coming through, wrestling, grappling amazing, and you know, got the victory, got the clearly got the decision, and ended up going through overtime, and he got a decision. But that was probably one of the highlight. Standing ovation from the entire crowd. Gary Tonin, amazing athlete, incredible performance. Gordon Ryan kicked ass, so he did great as well. 2 submissions, rear naked chokes, as far as I remember, both of them. The production that went into ADCC is badass. I bet even better tomorrow for finals. Yeah, Mikey, totally. I mean, like the setup looks amazing. It's not a huge venue, so it's still pretty intimate. You feel like you're pretty close to the action. They have the screens up above the mats, so if you do have trouble seeing, you can watch it on the screen. But even the worst seats in the house aren't bad. I'm in the mid level. I'm in the front. I've made it to the front of the mid level because I show up early, so I'll probably do that again tomorrow morning. Just a great event. I obviously I got my little issues that I would love them fixed for the future, constructive criticism, but their event is just amazing to watch this kind of level and seeing the skill that these guys possess is it's incredible. And then I got another guy I want to talk about that I'm so excited for and proud of. It's Ty Rutolo. Guys, this kid is he's got to be 18 years old. One of my wrestlers, Chance Rich, who's wrestling Division One right now for Cal State Bakersfield. We had a match with him like 3, 4 years ago. I guess it's been about 4 years. Um, we had a grappling match with him when he was a kid, and I think he's only like 6 months younger than Chance. So Chance just turned 19. So I think Rutolo's 18. I think he probably is just about turning 18 right now. The kid is just doing great. He's in the semifinals, and he's got a cool. Everybody was kind of watching him as he's trying to pass the guard because all these guys, the lightweights, like 145 pounds, 66 kilo, they're all like flexible. And he wasn't like incredibly effective with it, but he's dealing with their guards by just basically standing on their ankle. So he's switching back and forth. He'll stand on their ankle with his right foot. He'll stand on it with his left foot. He's dancing back and forth like he's skipping from a log to log. One foot to a log to the other foot. He's just dancing on them, and it's pretty cool to see and just to see where that kid. I've been watching him since he was little, and we've had a bunch of kids compete against AOJ when they first came out, and then now I believe he's representing Autos. He's just incredible. So he's in the semis. So all right, hey coach, the takedown still counted even if they go out of the mat. Ornelas is asking Ubaldo Ornelas. No, usually the takedown doesn't count when they go outside the mat, but sometimes it does. It's like I'm not saying I saw a lot of scores outside the mat, but if they could stabilize, I mean, basically what every athlete should do is they should just fight like crazy. Second they go outside the mat, man, as long as you're fighting like crazy and creating scrambles, they won't start it back in the same position, it seems. But if it looks stabilized, the referee has a chance. He's going to put it back where it was. So a lot of guys are just scrambling like crazy. The Blast called it the best match in ADC history. Yeah, I would. I would. I don't know about best match in ADC history, but it was very exciting to watch Gary Tonin. So I assume that's the one you're talking about. Incredible performance. Even though it was like tied or whatever with no score, no official score, he had so many opportunities and so many scores without seeing the points on the board that it was just incredible. Okay, at these extremely high levels, how important is strength and cardio and cross training in other martial arts? S. Smith asks. It's huge. I mean, like strength, cardio, cross training other martial arts. Well, there's definitely like if you want to call it other martial arts, I don't really, again, grappling. I always say grappling is grappling. If you want to call it like cross training, but definitely changing your style. Like some of these guys, like Meow went for a slick honey hole entry off of a leg drag in his first match. He didn't land it. He didn't finish the heel hook, but he hit a nice leg drag and then just exploded right into the saddle 411. And so it's kind of cool to see him like, getting after the leg locks when usually he's just all about taking the back. Um, so there's a little cross training that goes on. A lot of takedowns. Guys are working on their takedowns, especially because it's no-gi and obviously the focus of the -1 forces more takedown practice. And then also, which I think is a good thing. I like the -1 because I do want these guys working on their takedowns. And but I don't dig the whole turtling negating a takedown. I don't agree with that. So I don't think it's good for the sport. And I think some guys are losing matches probably when they otherwise would have won because the other guy is just basically turtling and it takes away the guy's takedown. Who do I have for TJ versus Tonin? Honestly, as much as I love Tonin and I hope he wins because I just think he's amazing, I think that yeah, and when you say TJ, I think you mean JT. I think that JT is a little more sound when it comes to the point system. And he may be able to beat Tony because Tony can get a little reckless. I don't think Tony cares. I think he just wants to get after it and he wants to sub him and he wants to put on a show, which is a great attitude to have. I love it, but that makes me fear the JT skill of playing the game, which I think he does better than Tony. So who do I have? I don't know. I hope Tony wins, but that could go either way. Rough Rooster, you asked about Victor Hugo. I'm sorry, I do not know. Again, I'm not an expert on studying all the guys, so I did see. I tried to watch as many matches as I could, but I do not know. So, man, I forgot about ADCC. Showed up at PG last night. No class. Operator. Dude, I'm sorry. Yeah, last night I had to go to a college dual meet. So sorry, Rough Rooster. Um, who are the most disappointed in seeing lose? Um, Guys, there were some upsets. Dude, Rutolo beat Bruno Frazzato first round. Again, he's a young kid. He's probably not supposed to beat such a veteran in the game. But of course, if you're a Rutolo fan, it was expected. But I thought that was a little tough for Bruno. Man, Gio Martinez lost in the first round. Uh, Gianni Grippo lost in the first round. Man, yeah, Lachlan Giles lost in the first round. So there was a lot of like first round losses that were like really tough. So and kind of like Muhammad Ali, man, he's a great guy, but he ran into a beast, so he's out. How does watching the even today make you feel about your own jiu-jitsu inspired bummed? No, guys, I always feel inspired now. To watch these guys move, it's inspirational. Now, the typical student is not going to be able to compete quite like these guys. When you reach these levels, they have a level of strength, flexibility that allows them to do things that a typical athlete, or I say athlete, typical jujitsu practitioner, student, I'm not trying to say you can't do any of the stuff that they're doing, but it's like, guys, some of these guys, guards, like I said, at the lightweights, it's near impossible to pass their guard if you don't have strikes. If you can't punch them in the face, it's hard to pass their guard. It's just, and it's very unlikely that it's going to happen. So, so I feel very inspired, but more things to work on. I saw a lot of cool stuff. I would love to work on a lot of the cool stuff that I saw today, and it's going to change my game because it's going to be in my head. I'm going to be playing around. I'm going to be working some of those things. I'm going to be working Meow's little honey hole entry. I'm going to be doing Rotolo's standing on the ankles a little more than I already do. I have a guy, John Solar, one of my guys. He actually likes to do that as well. And, so it's not like it's never been done before, but these things are always going to influence the way I grapple and the way I move just by what I see. So, and I'm very visual. I can watch something and like next week I'll be working on it. So, um, yeah. Can Mark Madsen finish Khabib? I don't know Mark Madsen. I'm sorry. I could just be out of it. Anyway, yeah, poor Gio. Gio's a tough dude. Galvao or nah? Galvao is going to compete tomorrow. So I'll see that in the super fight. 53-year-old jiu-jitsu black belt. I feel like, what the fuck? I'm so far away from that level. O'Kane, yeah, when you're 53, dude, I'm 41 and I can't move. My neck, guys, when you get older, my neck doesn't move the same. I don't have that level of flexibility. So in order to move like these lightweights move on their back, these positions are not good. My low back and my neck, it doesn't allow for a lot of guard play the way that they're playing. The guard replacement of man, it's hard. I can't remember his name, but it was incredible. It was the guy that Augusto Mendez Toquinho fought in his last match. He won, but could not pass the guard at all. And again, incredible guard work. Who has the best guard? Who has the most dangerous guard? Well, little Kennedy, Maciel, little Junior Cobrinha looked incredible. Very dangerous. Played a lot of guard and very dangerous. Craig Jones with the guillotine and just very dangerous. His leg locks are crazy. So lots of guys have good guards, guys. Were you surprised with any of the techniques you saw succeed today? I was watching a stream on and off, and it looked like everyone got caught up in the leg lock game based on their success defending. Yeah. A lot of guys now, you saw less finishes with the leg locks because people are practicing them now. So no more like Danaher death squad, no problem, leg lock them in the first minute. It's not that simple anymore. Guys are now a lot more hip to the leg lock. So am I going for Galvao or Pena? I really don't know or don't really care, guys. If I had to pick someone, I will pick Pena, but I really don't know. I mean, Galvao's great too. Where'd you find the stream at? Well, guys, if you want to watch this stuff, you just got to go on Flow Grappling. If you don't have an account, then I don't know what you can do. I'm sure there's something crazy out there you can watch, but just get Flow Grappling. It's totally worth it, guys. I've had an account with Flow Grappling. I watch my wrestling there. I watch my jiu-jitsu there. So, did Nicky Ryan get knocked out of the bracket? Yes, he did. So he lost to Meow. Does Thor Blank have a shot? Yeah, I thought he did pretty good. He had a good first match. Having trouble remembering who he beat. He beat someone good. Like maybe it might have been an upset in that first match. It's hard to remember now. Everything's kind of mixing, and I don't know. So yeah, the guards as a black belt. Yeah, looking at those guards, I'm just reading O'Kane's comment. Yeah, it's crazy. You gotta have strikes in order to pass their guard, guys. It's just you're not gonna do it in no gi with all that slipperiness and with it. These guys are in such good shape they don't get tired. It's not enough time to make these guys tired to wear their guards out. So it's a huge performance by a lot of these guys. So saw you met DPS Breakdown today. Yes, Dan Sweeney. That he's awesome. He was sitting right in front of me. He was actually I was in the front of the second section. He was in the back of the front section, and I guess he recognized my voice. And second he started talking, I recognized his. So it was cool to meet him in person. And I had just about a month ago did the video talking about how great a job he does. The one on the Sudoku little slide by. So guys, check out DPS Breakdowns. He's awesome. Great guy. We were shooting the shit all day just as we watched the matches. So what do you think of the women's matches? Did you see that chick grab other chick's hair? I did not see that, Daniel. I'm sorry. I did not see that. Um, so Justin says Russian. Oh, does that mean it did Blank beat Chesiev? Maybe that's who he beat. How are the matches different at the different weights? Um, Love to see a collab with you and DPS Breakdowns. Yeah, I'd love to do it. Guys, I just put them in that little clip earlier today I dropped just so you guys can see us together. Anyway, yes, Olivia Giles fought today. She lost her first match. So, AJ won by KO 8 seconds. Oh my goodness. 8 seconds. That's crazy. I got to go watch that. I got to go watch that. What do you Okay. Someone said earlier, I'm gonna try to catch up. Um, what do you think of the one? Okay, what do you think of the women's matches? Did you see? No, I didn't see that. How are the matches different weights? Um, Definitely, guys. The lightweights are playing a lot more guard and guard passing, and then you've got the upper weights. It's a takedown battle. So you see a lot of takedown battles in the upper weights. It's almost all you see. Um, Other than Gordon Ryan, because Gordon Ryan will pull guard and sweep you and get on top and take your back. Next thing you know, he's choking you. So, what do you think the percentage of ADCC athletes are doing steroids? I was making jokes, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I don't want to point the finger at people and be wrong, but I'll just say this. It looks to me, I can't say for the lightweights, guys, and they could be doing it just the same. But when it comes to like midweight and up, all the way up through heavyweight, it looks it looks like 60 to 75% are on steroids. That's what it looks like. I don't know. I don't know, guys. Some people might even say it's even more than that. I don't know, but it's probably there's definitely some juice out there in the field. So how do you think they are developing essential impassable guards? Guys, the impassable guard is O'Kane and the rest of you. The flexibility, guys, is huge. One, you have to have the range of motion, and then once you achieve a range of motion that is pretty high level, you start to use your guard. You're a black belt, you understand when you're playing with your legs enough, they become like arms, and they almost feel like arms. Like in the same way that when you reach out and you grab a glass of water and you drink, and it just feels different than when you reach out with your foot and try to pick up something with your toes. It's a different feeling. Well, once you have that range of motion and you have been using your legs like arms, it's literally like a spider. You have two more limbs to work with that you are so the dexterity it's so easy to move them. What they're doing and then combine that with the flexibility, they're able to curve their back in a position where someone will push on a limb, like a leg, or their hand will reach out and touch, and they'll push the person's entire body to curve, and that curving makes it where any energy you put forth in passing just takes the bottom player and sends them away from you. It's like every time you try to reach out and grab something, like in the water, and it's floating up on top of the water, and you touch it and it just floats away from you, and you just push it away, and it seems effortless. Um, but again, these guys can take one of their feet and bring it right back in. The moment you make an angle, they just bring their foot back in, or they invert and then rotate the other direction. Um, it's pretty incredible. We're seeing a lot of leg lock attacks, and then also quite a few like little like it's kind of like a leg drag, not a leg drag, but they kind of have their legs stepped into a leg lock, and then what they do is they kind of backstep a little and they hit a forward roll, and they're able to attack for the back. It's a rolling back attack. A lot of guys are trying to hit that. It's wowing the crowd quite a bit, and it's very interesting. It's not like this is new. It's been going on for a while. I've seen guys do it a lot. You know, the meows are a great example of that. But yeah, just talking. Sometimes I'm just going off on tangents. So, do the Brazilians like to box? Seems they use tackling technique to get to use their judo. Um, I don't understand what you mean. Like to box. Um, I you do see a lot of the Brazilians with their judo. From Muhammad Ali to a few others to Chinuto. Even though Gary Tonin was taking him down with wrestling type takedowns, Chinuto was like almost like scoring little judo like throws using his legs, sweeping out the legs. So it was a nice little contrast. Um, do the heavier weights go for takedowns because it sucks to have a giant person on you, or because even if they have good technique, they're still hard to sweep? I personally think that it's ADCC, at least at the upper weights, besides Gordon Ryan, besides Craig Jones, the strategy is let's do takedowns. I think it's just the strategy. It's like it's the easier way to win. You know, why take a risk? I'll just stay in good position. It keeps the matches super close, and let me fight for that takedown and impose my will. I don't think a lot of guys want to be on bottom when they're heavier. I think you're right. I don't think they like big guys on top of them, but I think it's not just that. I think that's part of it, but I think it's also just it's just a way to fight so that you don't take a lot of risk. I think it's easy for these big guys to scramble back up to their feet. They see it as a way to keep the score close, and if things go well, maybe you get that win, and it's a huge upside. You win a few matches, you end up in the finals, and you're the man. So I think it's kind of their smart way of fighting. Neil Melanson calls that teacupping. Yeah, that kind of curving on your back. That's cool. Nice name for it. So much grappling in UFC, not like the old days. Okay. TKO was pro kickboxing. Was sad to see Keenan out of 99. Yeah. He had his little infection, eye infection. So um, I think he totally got it from Josh. How did Nick Rodriguez do, and how the hell is he a blue belt? Yeah, he did great. I don't know. He's not my guy. So, hello, what is this channel about? Misty Wisty asks. What's up, Misty? This channel is a grappling channel. Usually I'm teaching people techniques, but sometimes I do talk about subjects. And today we have the World Championships for grappling or submission wrestling. And it's close by where I live. So I went down and bought a ticket, and I'm attending with my students. So we're just talking about it. So 2 UFC fights, stopped to finger in the eyes. Yeah, that's terrible. Josh probably farting on his pillows. Yeah, probably. My instructor was talking about his trip to Autos last year, and he got to roll with Josh Hinger and Keenan and stuff. That's cool. Josh Hinger couldn't guillotine him. That's cool. I've trained with Josh Hinger. He's a great guy. So very, very solid. Um, you mean T Kamorian. What's your belt in BJJ? If you guys are talking to me, I am a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu. So I'm Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Sweep kick, which is used in karate. Coach is a black. Thank you. Hey yo was watching it during an Emily Kwok seminar. Cool. I don't know what that means, but oh, T Kimura, I get you. T bag position going for the Kimura. The Kimura from North South. So anyway, guys, I really should go. It's 45 minutes in, 46 minutes in. Um, okay, one more. Operator asks, do you think using the higher flexibility setups and subs, a lot of the ones using rubber guard have a higher propensity for joint damage and injury later in life? Yeah, so I'm sorry guys if you guys are big proponents of the rubber guard, but I'm not a big fan of it. I don't believe as you get older that putting yourself in those positions, you should always stretch, you should always train, but it's just a matter of time. Our bodies are going to wear out. I'm 41 and I'm on the backside of that mountain, guys. I between 40 and 41, I feel like I have totally felt the drop. So it's only a matter of time, guys. We get hurt. I'm getting hurt all the time right now. So I love it's not all related, but some of it's related to other stuff, wrestling and stuff, but wrestling with young kids. But we have to be careful of our bodies, and I don't think you should pull your foot to your face all that much. I don't think it's healthy for you as you get older. Now, some bodies are fine with it. Everybody's got some natural flexibility that's their body works well with that, but your joints, I think it's better to remain strong, continue to train, and try to go to your limits, but don't try to push the envelope when you're getting older. And that means don't go out and sprint as fast as you can and pull your muscles. Don't try to jump as high as you possibly can or as far as you possibly can. You're going to rip something. It's not wise to do that. Keep it within stay in your lane, basically. That's what I think you should do. And I'm trying to do that. As I'm going to get older, I realize the end game is let's try to learn jujitsu for health, for longevity, how we can continue to do jujitsu as we get older. Now, if you're a young guy, man, just do it. I did it. I did all kinds of crazy shit. I was jumping up, flying arm bars every tournament. I knocked myself out once with a flying arm bar, and I was still in the match, and I ended up winning with an arm bar. But I got a concussion from it. I had trouble the rest of the day because of that, jumping up in the air and falling on my head. So you got to take it easy as you get older. Okay. I got to quickly clean this up. You can do all that stuff, but you need a vegan diet. A vegan diet helps you age better. Okay, maybe it does. I don't know the truth. I don't know. I'm not against it, but I am not a vegan. So my mother needs to learn to defend herself now, and she's in a wheelchair. Can people like that still be trained? Guys, I mean, there's always things you can learn, but if she's in a wheelchair, she probably needs a pistol. So jiu-jitsu is probably not going to help all that much. Where else can I learn wrestling online? You can learn, there's tons of YouTube channels you can learn wrestling. You can always watch mine, but there's lots of good stuff. Flow Wrestling's out there, so plant-based diet will keep you strong. I'm sure it will. I'm sure it'll do a good job. Putting Gabby with a girl at 160 was insane. She still got a Nippon. Wait till you're over 50. Yeah, I know, okay. I know you got some years on me, but I know it's coming. So just got to make sure I'm ready. You'll be surprised by your recovery. Go vegan. Okay, maybe I'll try it sometime. I might try it, Daniel. You never know. So, can you do a video on the chin strap escaping and attacking? Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, I was eating pizza. So, Josh, here at 53, I'm rolling hard. I'm rolling hard anymore. I stopped a roll. If a douchebag wants to turn it up, it's simply that simple. Yep. Yeah, you're not rolling. I get you. Do you care if competitors use PEDs? Seems like Gordon doesn't shy away from the fact that he uses and it helps him. Guys, I'm not into it. I'm not into it, but what are you going to do? I mean, it's the world we live in. I wouldn't try to encourage my athletes to do anything. I try to lead, for the most part, a fairly healthy life. Again, maybe it's not all bad. I don't know the truth. The reality is, I don't know, but I, I, I would steer towards don't use that stuff. And you know, I don't know what to say about it. I mean, there's so many guys doing it. How do you police it? It's very difficult. It's costs a lot of money for these tournaments. If they were to organize a drug testing type of uh, system, I don't know what to say. CM Punk with maybe yellow belt got into the UFC ring. That was crazy. So, oh, hey coach, how many years I need to train to get a purple belt? It depends. Depends on your coach. At my place, a purple belt is typically someone been training probably more like 3 years, maybe 3 to 6, somewhere in the range of 3 to 6 years at my place. Um, some places it's sooner, um, some places longer. So the thing about PEDs is the human body can generally tolerate the punishment it is capable of delivering. PEDs pushes that above and beyond. It might help the user, but it ends a lot of natural fighters. Maybe, yeah. Coach, I really appreciate you shedding light on the difference between sport BJJ and Gracie or self-defense BJJ. Last time, the world needs this reality check. Yep, yes, sir. Daniel, yep, you need a pistol. What's that, Megan? That's fine. We'll use that. Okay. All right. So Ken Shamrock was on something in the UFC fight years ago. Yeah, pretty sure we're all against PEDs. All right, guys, I gotta go. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you so much. And tomorrow is the finals, semifinals, and the finals of ADCC and the Absolute. So I'm gonna be going down there early tomorrow. If you guys are down there and you guys see me, say hello. Come say hello. I'd love to meet you guys. And I'll be back for more next time. Got a lot of good stuff come lined up for next week. Take it easy. Have a good night.